Naptown, this week we'll talk about Park, Shop and Dine, the city's UNESCO Heritage Site designation, electric cars, an overview of Ward 4 with Alderwoman Sheila Finlayson, plus events and activities happening around the city. Let's get started. It was back to school time in September where Mayor Gavin Buckley and City Council members focused on welcoming children back to their academic pursuits. First, Mayor Buckley toured 4 elementary schools in the Annapolis cluster with School Superintendent Dr. George Arlotto. The students were thrilled to be heading back to class, but we also saw smiles on the faces of teachers, administrators, and school staff. A great way for the community to showcase their support, the Mayor's One Annapolis team hosted backpack, uniform, and bicycle giveaways at Weems Whalen with the support of Alderman Dewan Gay. Alderwoman Eleanor Tierney also showed up to offer her expert face painting skills. More than 24 restaurants and shops in downtown Annapolis are participating in the Park, Shop and Dine program. These businesses buy passes for free parking at city-owned garages. That's Park Place, Knighton, Gotts, and Hillman. You drive in and take a ticket, then dine or shop in downtown with a participating business who will give you a validation ticket. Customers may use up to 4 validation tickets per trip. Simply insert the validation ticket when you leave the garage and your parking is free. We'll talk about another volunteer opportunity with Make a Difference Day later in the show, but as an example, residents from Eastport came out to a Neat Streets event in mid-September. It was a crew of about 25 people who wielded weed whackers, shovels, rakes, and brooms.
We wanted to get involved, obviously, and make a collaboration between Ward 8 and Ward 6, which I think is critically important as we move forward and getting those two communities on the same page. So it's just a good opportunity, revitalizing our community, as they say, one block at a time, so glad to be a part of it.
After bag of yard trim and trash. The crew is organized by Bumper Moyer.
It's a bunch of people that care about their community who want to go out in a demonstrable way and make it better with only an hour of their time. And it's community building, it's beautification, and it gives you a sense of accomplishment.
I've been doing this all over Eastport and showing some love for the city that they live in, for every neighborhood. We're so lucky to have volunteers like this. I'm happy to be just a little bit of part of it today. I'm looking forward to the next one.
Follow the ECA website, follow Facebook, follow the Eastport Neighborhood Forum, or they can contact me at bumpermoyer1964@gmail.com and I'll email them.
Looking good out there. Annapolis was recently named a site of memory associated with the slave route by the United Nations Educational, Scientific, and Cultural Organization, or UNESCO. The historic marker will be placed at City Dock following a series of community meetings to determine the type of marker and the selection of a local historian to draft the wording. The city is one of 52 identified locations across the continental United States and one of 5 in the state of Maryland identified as being a port of entry. The marker will honor the lives of Africans who perished during the Middle Passage slave trade and to honor those who survived. The Port Markers Project worked with the City of Annapolis and Anne Arundel County officials to request the Heritage Site designation. UNESCO names heritage sites of significance around the globe. These heritage sites are landmarks that are legally protected by international treaties. The sites are judged important to the collective interests of humanity. Annapolis will join port cities like Jamestown, Galveston, New Orleans, Camden, and others with a marker as a reminder of the history of the slave trade. In Maryland, Annapolis joins historic London Town, historic Sauderley, and Baltimore as Maryland-designated UNESCO Middle Passage sites. Have you been thinking about ways to reduce your carbon footprint? Mulling the idea of a Tesla or Volt or Leaf as your next vehicle? Annapolis Green hosted an electric vehicle car showcase on City Dock in September, where EV owners came out to share their experiences. People could get a ride in an electric car and get their questions answered about maintenance. Say goodbye to oil changes, fan belts, air filters, timing belts, cylinder heads, and spark plugs. Reduce your carbon footprint. The mayor came out to show his support. It's also a good time to mention the new 2-nozzle EV charger at the Pip Moyer Recreation Center. Get charged while you work out. In this week's episode, we have a focus on Ward 4. The ward includes the Wiley Bates Senior Center on Smithville. It then runs down the west side of Spa Road to the neighborhood south of Forest Drive. Here's Alderwoman Finlayson to talk about the great things going on in Ward 4.
Hey, Naptown. This is Alderwoman Sheila Finlayson, welcoming you to Ward 4. I stand in probably the most historical site in my ward. This is the Wally H. Bates Heritage Park. Here at the Wally H. Bates Heritage Park, there are lots of opportunities. There's housing, there's recreational activities, there's kids. This is one of the many, many historical sites in Ward 4. Ward 4 is a very diverse ward. The boundaries begin at Westgate Circle and travel down Spa Road. We have just the right side of Spa Road, around Hilltop, and the left side of Forest Drive. So it includes the Newtown corridor and the 4 communities on that drive. It includes the new Village Green community, and it includes Annapolis Walk and Bywater and Oxford Landing, and of course, Kingsport in the rear. We have our own business district, which is the Village Green shopping area, which has a gas station and a CVS and several excellent restaurants and other businesses. So we invite folks to come out and check out the Ward 4 Business District. To bring it up to date, just earlier this month, we opened a brand new park, the Bywater Park, which is located right on Bywater Road between Kingsport and the community of Bywater. It was a playground, and that playground has been expanded, so there are features for all generations, all ages. So we have to thank Wally H. Bates for his foresight in putting up the $500 to begin this school, and here we are some 80 years later, standing in the historical courtyard. And I have to mention that flagpole is the original flagpole from Wally H. Bates High School. And around that flagpole are bricks with the names of alumni members and historical figures from the community and other community leaders. So this truly is a destination. If you've never been to Ward 4, check out the business district. If you're interested in history, right in the heart of Annapolis, we have the Wally H. Bates Heritage Park with lots of history and a museum piece that will help to expand your horizon. So come on down, Annapolis, and visit Ward 4.
Thanks, Alderwoman. October starts off with the Powerboat Show, which begins on October 3rd and runs through October 6th. It will take up the entirety of City Dock. The Sailboat Show's the following weekend, that's October 10th to 14th. That event is kicked off by a 50th anniversary party at Market Space on October 10th from 5 to 9. Things get back to normal on the 15th. Take your time getting around the city. It's a big event that brings a lot of visitors to our community. On October 6th, the First Sunday Arts Festival takes place on West Street from 11 to 5. The Chambers Park Summer Concert Series continues on October 11th with the Spice Band starting at 7 p.m. Also on the 11th, the U.S. Naval Academy Band will be playing to celebrate the birthdays of both the U.S. Naval Academy and the U.S. Navy with a free fall concert at Maryland Hall. That's at 7:30 p.m. Navy musicians will be back at Maryland Hall on Sunday, October 13th at 4 p.m., where the Superintendent's Combo will play on the Navy's actual birthday. Happy birthday and go Navy! On October 17th, the winners of the Student Public Safety Poster Competition will be announced. Make sure your student has submitted a piece of art through their public school art program. On October 19th, the Reverend Callie Matthews Scholarship Walk will get started at Susan Campbell Park at City Dock. That begins at 8:30 a.m. On October 20th, Maryland Avenue businesses will host their annual Fall Festival from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Also on the 20th, the Walk to End Alzheimer's will take place between 11 a.m. and 3 p.m. These walks happen all over the United States on the 20th, but ours here in Annapolis starts at Susan Campbell Park on City Dock. At the end of the month, take the time to make a difference at the Make a Difference Fall Greenscape Day, all day from 8:30 a.m. to 4:30 p.m., where Mayor Buckley and the Department of Recreation and Parks invite community members to volunteer time to improve the lives of others. It's free, and you might just get a smile out of the effort. That's it for this episode of Hey Naptown. We'll see you in November.